Tonight, City Council delays the decision on their encampment policy. After a fire forced its closure, a cultural hub is fully operational again. And Eastview residents raise safety concerns at a neighborhood meeting.
Live from our studios in Regina, this is CTV News.
Good evening. It's now a common sight in major cities, encampments for those experiencing homelessness. Right now, the policy in Regina is to tear down the encampment and look to provide resources for its residents. City Council is looking at changing that policy, but has decided a decision and delaying it until November. Now, Regina Pats tells us why they've decided on the delay.
Encampments are not civil, sane, safe, or sanitary for the encampers or for anybody.
8 delegates bringing their concerns to council about how the city is dealing with Regina's most vulnerable living in encampments.
I believe that we have failed as a society, having human rights respected. There are also seniors living on the streets now. If I have to live like that, I don't know how I could do it considering my mobility issues.
Whenever encampments come down and people are continually not being able to stay anywhere in the city and not having a response from the people who are taking down the encampments, don't know where to send people.
After hearing from citizens, council voted unanimously to refer the encampment response protocols back to administration until November, allowing more time for research on how to deal with the ongoing matter.
People are giving us very good feedback from the community. It's very clear that we need to engage those stakeholders, people with lived experience. Those are all messages that we heard loud and clear.
During that time, administration will review best practices in other Canadian municipalities, looking at recommended locations, operational models, capital and operating costs, required bylaw amendments, and a proposed community engagement plan. With Regina's unhoused population continuing to grow, Councillor Victoria Flores brought forward the idea of creating a permitted encampment site within city limits. However, no decisions were made.
The thought behind it is if we continue to move people and just dismantle encampment, the encampment is not going to disappear. It's just going to go somewhere else. And you're going to have disruptions not only to folks who are in those tent communities, but also for people in that neighborhood.
Come November 12th, the new report will be presented to Executive Committee. Members of the public are welcome to provide their feedback as well. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
The Saskatchewan NDP is speaking out over the Coachman Motor Inn in Regina being used as a temporary accommodation for clients who use social services. Earlier this week, we told you a story about clients and advocates raising concerns over the conditions at the motel. Clients say the rooms are filled with cockroaches and bed bugs with drug activity taking place outside. The NDP says it's shameful what the Sask Party is doing to these vulnerable people.
To put clients in conditions like this is unacceptable. They should be reviewing and inspecting these hotel rooms. I would ask Minister Jensen if he would put his family up in these conditions. I doubt that he would. So perhaps he should come down and have a look at the conditions that they're putting their clients in.
In a statement sent to CTV News earlier this week, the Sask Party says if a client has a health or safety concern regarding a room, they will look to secure alternate available accommodations as they work with the hotel to address those concerns. The SHA says health inspections have been conducted at the motel on August 18th and 26th, with recommendations being given to the building's owner. Since a fire in an adjacent building, the harm reduction program at the Niwo-Utina Friendship Center has been closed. But today, the program was back up and running, providing education on Narcan use to prevent overdoses and to offer help for those needing housing. Damian Smith has those details.
But we're doing our best to try and keep people alive.
Wakatoan Harm Reduction is holding a grand reopening after a fire at a neighboring building forced to close earlier this year. Hosting a free barbecue for connection and learning, those working at the center are handing out Narcan kits and offering training on how to use them.
It's used all the time. Yeah, it's used a lot with the paramedics and a lot with the people who are using. Massively important that everybody knows how to use it because the opioid problem is rising, and I don't know if it'll get any better, but we're doing our best to try and keep people alive.
There was also a memorial message wall honoring those who have died from drug overdoses.
There's somebody's children, there's somebody's family member, somebody's brother, somebody's sister. people are put in a predicament, and at least we have a place for them to be able to use safely.
The program is run by the Niwo-Yotina Friendship Center, which also looks for safe, secure, and affordable housing for those in need.
What it means is our clients have a safe place to come back to. They have a safe injection use site that they can utilize and safe equipment, and just building those connections. And our housing team relies on this center because it's very difficult to find our clients sometimes.
The Harm Reduction and Drop-In Center in the Heritage neighborhood will be open 7 days a week starting September 6th, and the housing and health and wellness programs will continue operating in the Ray Street location Monday to Friday. Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
Last night, the community of Eastview held their annual general meeting. A big topic of conversation was community safety after an 11-year-old was shot in a drive-by shooting earlier this month. On August the 11th, police were called to a home on the 1000 block of Edgar Street just after 2 in the morning. When they arrived, they found the young girl inside a home suffering from a gunshot wound. Police determined the gunshots had been fired at the home, which led to the girl being shot. Officials with the Eastview Community Association say it's important to have these conversations so incidents like this won't happen again.
Well, I think the community needs to understand and really adopt the community spirit where we and they have it, but we just have to reinforce it when a tragedy like this happens, that we can come together as a group, ensure some safety. I mean, the thing that happened wasn't because it's Eastview, it happens all over the place. It just happened to happen in our neighborhood.
Members of RPS were also on hand at the meeting to answer any questions from the public. All right, Sabine joins us for our first look at weather, and we continue to see those heat warnings in the northwest part of the province.
They've actually expanded to the northeast now, Lee. So much of northern Saskatchewan now are seeing the excessive heat warnings. However, still central southern Saskatchewan, no warnings yet. I don't suspect we're going to start to see them as we head into the weekend. We will start to eventually see those temperatures cool just a little bit. But heading into the weekend, we've had it all week, and that'll continue into the weekend as those temperatures above seasonal into the 30s. Now, we will start to see a little bit of precipitation. You can see on the radar satellite even right now in the southwest. Areas like Maple Creek, Swift Current, Assiniboia could see some rain between now into Saturday, and I'll talk more about that coming up in the forecast. But temperatures still remain to be well above seasonal in terms of our current temperatures. Our average is usually about 23, 24 degrees. We did get up to 30 degrees, felt more like 31 late this afternoon. And as I said, it'll continue into the rest of this weekend, but I'll have all those details in your forecast. Lee?
Thank you, Sabine. After a summer of fire, smoke, and thunderstorms, the last week of August stands out as a bit of a scorcher in Saskatchewan, with heat warnings issued in northwest and now northeast Saskatchewan. Jasmine Pelche has more.
Weather across Saskatchewan has been hitting daytime highs around 30 degrees, and some Prince Albert residents aren't complaining.
I think people forget too soon how cold it gets here and for how long, so I enjoy it.
Longtime resident Fred Chubak is out in the heat watering his lawn so it stays in top shape through this week's hot stretch.
I put a lot into it this year in time and effort and seed, so I want to try and keep it look nice. Keeps the neighborhood look nice.
A heat warning was issued for northwest Saskatchewan. The warning only covers the north half of the province, as areas in the south continue to see the temperature drop overnight.
This is typically the time of year where temperatures really start to kind of fall off a cliff and get colder as we make our descent into fall and then winter. So to be hanging on to this kind of heat this late in the summer is getting more and more impressive relative to historical norms.
Environment Canada says this heat episode stands out because it isn't common to see this many days in a row where daytime temperatures hover around the 30s. The coming days may even break some heat records in the north half of the province.
As you go further north, the heat is more and more anomalous. So as you go further north, that's kind of where we're expecting more records to fall.
This hot weather is expected to continue into the weekend, but some relief from the heat is likely to arrive for Saskatchewan residents either Sunday or Monday, with the arrival of cooler temperatures. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
Hot weather, thunderstorms, and hail were all seen by different parts of the province last week as harvest continues to fall behind the average pace. So far, 12% of Saskatchewan's total crop is in the bin. That's below normal for this time of year based on the 5- and 10-year averages. Southwest Saskatchewan is furthest ahead. No surprise, nearly a quarter of the harvest complete, while other areas, particularly the north, have just started combining. Individual crop type, winter wheat and fall rye are furthest ahead, along with peas. Well, every year Rancho works with hundreds of children from across Canada, many of them Indigenous. That's why today's powwow is so important, a chance to give the youth a memorable experience that represents them. Mick Fable tells us more.
For the 8th year in a row, Rancho Society is hosting a powwow to celebrate Indigenous culture and the youth they represent.
For our young people, this is just an incredible opportunity for them to come out, showcase some of their skills, just to participate in something that's part of their culture and to demonstrate their skills with others in the community.
Over half of the youth Rancho works with identify as being of Indigenous descent. Those within the organization are seeing that this representation of Indigenous culture does have a positive effect on the youth they work with.
The youth are starting to stand that much more taller. They're starting to feel that much more prouder to be able to share their cultural traditions and to be able to answer those questions, you know, where did I come from? Where am I going? What is my purpose and who am I?
The event itself has steadily grown with more than 160 dancers participating this year, the most ever. 10 drum groups took part, with youth making up a large portion of the singing and dancing. Organizers say it's a time which brings not only Rancho Society closer together, but other surrounding organizations, partners, and new friends.
This event helps us bring that relationship that much stronger and to be able to give back to the community, right? Our staff members embrace a lot of the cultural activities that we're able to implement.
In a few weeks, Rancho Society will receive an event review to get a picture of how their powwow can get even better in the future. Mick Fable, CTV News, near Pilot Butte.
As the school year quickly approaches, many staff and students are getting ready to head back to school. Today at the University of Regina, parents and guardians help move in the new and returning students for the annual Move-In Day. Brittany Poitras has that story.
It's Move-In Day at the University of Regina. More than 1,000 students will call this campus home, where they will live, socialize, and study. Some who are arriving have mixed emotions.
It's weird. I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about it.
But parents are ready to offer their support, emotional or otherwise.
I got my tools ready, so whatever needs to be done, I'm planning on being here for the next day or so to do some tweaking and get things set up for everybody.
250 staff and student volunteers are standing by to make the day go as smoothly as possible.
When they get here, there's signs getting them where they need to go. They don't need to worry about getting lost when they're on campus. We get them where they need to go, and then once they're in the lots, our team takes it from there and really just helps them with every step of the process to get moved in, get checked in, get settled, and then we try and make sure that they have a great experience throughout the rest of the day with those events.
Even President and Vice Chancellor Jeff Keshen is lending a helping hand, along with some words of wisdom.
So we're thrilled on such a beautiful day to welcome students back to the University of Regina. And I suppose my words of advice is to get involved, attend events, partake in the fantastic athletic events and theater and art shows, and you'll meet lots of people and you'll have an absolutely great time.
It's also the kickoff to the fall semester, with several welcome weekend events taking place, including orientation, a barbecue, a movie screening, and more, before students get back to the books on Tuesday. Brittany Poitras, CTV News, Regina.
Still ahead, a scathing report on harassment and abuse in Canadian sport. And Russia launches one of its biggest attacks in its invasion of Ukraine. Well, we got a bit of a snapshot today of the state of sport in Canada. The takeaway from the Future of Sport Commission report is abuse, harassment, and discrimination is widespread and ongoing in a culture of silence. CTV's Andrew Johnson has more on the findings and recommendations for change.
see this.
They traveled the country for a year, speaking to hundreds of athletes, administrators, coaches, and parents. The consensus, clear.
The Canadian sports system is in crisis. As many have told us, it is broken.
The Future of Sport in Canada Commission found evidence of widespread abuse and mistreatment at all levels. A lack of protection for children and Olympians alike left vulnerable.
Physical punishment, sexual assault, training while injured, humiliation, intimidation, isolation tactics, failures to provide medical care, discrimination, and exploitation.
The commission also found in a win-at-all-costs culture of silence, when an athlete musters up the courage to come forward, they often run into a brick wall.
Lost in the web of various complaints mechanism, resulting in many feeling helpless and abandoned.
The commission is making 71 recommendations for change. It suggests the creation of a unified national safe sport tribunal to eliminate the patchwork between local, provincial, and federally regulated organizations and enforce legislation at all levels. Federal funding being made conditional on compliance, background checks, and a nationwide public registry to flag wrongdoers and restrict access. Survivors of abuse like gymnast Amelia Klein say with the release of this report, their horrible experiences are finally being validated.
To have them influence what we hope is going to be meaningful change in the system is, there are hardly words to actually describe what that feels like.
She says the ball is now in Ottawa's court to act. These are only recommendations that, after another round of feedback, will then be presented to government. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Canada Post is urging the Canadian Union of Postal Workers to revisit their offers following their most recent bargaining session on Wednesday. Canada Post says the gap between the parties is substantial and that the union has added new demands while hardening their position on several existing demands. The Crown Corporation says it received counteroffers from the union last week in response to the corporation's best and final offers in May. Canada Post says it remains open to reviewing and discussing the proposal. On Tuesday, Canada Post reported a massive $407 million loss before tax in its second quarter. The Quebec government says it's planning to ban prayer in public places as part of a move to strengthen secularism in the province. Minister Jean-François Roberts announced the plan today. It comes a few months after Premier François Legault said he didn't want to see people praying in public parks or on streets. The minister didn't say whether Quebec would invoke the notwithstanding clause to allow the bill to override sections of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. The Canadian Muslim Forum says a blanket ban would stigmatize communities, fuel exclusion, and undermine Quebec's social cohesion. In an incident that sparked a debate about self-defense and use of force, court documents reveal a man accused of breaking into an Ontario home was armed with a crossbow. On the morning of August the 18th, Michael Kyle Breen allegedly broke into Jeremy McDonald's Lindsay's Ontario apartment. McDonald, the apartment resident, was charged with assault after the altercation. As a result of the incident, Breen, the alleged intruder, was airlifted to a Toronto hospital with serious injuries and was also charged with multiple offenses. In Minneapolis, a steady stream of visitors to a memorial at the site of yesterday's church school shooting that has left 2 children dead.
Sending them to school and not having to be able to pick them up. So, yeah, my hearts are with these families right now. Sad. So sad.
Our son goes to preschool here. He thankfully stays home on Wednesdays, but as soon as we heard the news, it immediately tore us to pieces.
At least 17 other victims were injured in the shooting at the Catholic school. Police have identified a 23-year-old suspect who they say was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police say a videotaped message from the suspect expressed fascination with the perpetrators of previous mass shootings. They say the shooter previously attended the school, had no known criminal history, and purchased the weapons used legally. The mayor of Minneapolis said he would support a renewed push to limit access to some firearms.
I think we'd be happy to ban assault rifles here in Minneapolis. To these families that call Minneapolis home, we love them. Let's love them with more than words. Let's love them with the kind of action that will forever make the difference for people in our city. So the next go-round, there's not another city 2 months from now that is saying the same damn thing.
It's been called, move on, there we go. It's been called one of the biggest and deadliest attacks on Ukraine since the Russian invasion. More than 600 missiles and drones raining down damage and death in Kyiv. 19 people are dead, among them children. CTV's Rachel Aiello on the major escalation at a time when peace talks were supposed to be happening.
Multiple body bags pulled from this smoldering residential building in Kyiv after Russia launched a massive air attack on the capital. Dozens of buildings were hit or damaged by debris. Russia claimed the strikes were targeting Ukraine's military-industrial complex, but the death toll, expected to climb, already includes 4 children.
The Ukrainians are holding very hard, and so the Russians are pounding. They're not willing to negotiate yet.
The attack, the first targeting the city center since the Alaska summit, raising new questions about where U.S. President Donald Trump's peace talks stand.
He was not happy about this news, but he was also not surprised.
The European Union and United Kingdom are summoning Russia's envoys after strikes damage their diplomatic offices in the capital.
We are keeping maximum pressure on Russia.
The Canadian embassy was not hit. Foreign Affairs confirming all staff are safe. But that didn't deter Prime Minister Mark Carney from blasting Russia in a lengthy statement. By murdering when he should be talking, Putin demonstrates in the most horrific manner that his mission to subsume the Ukrainian people under his tyranny continues. Carney said in part, the Prime Minister was just in Kyiv, where he vowed Canada's aid contributions could expand in the event of a ceasefire.
And I would not exclude the presence of troops.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has been working the phones with top world leaders in the aftermath of the attack, thanking them for their support and pressing for tough new sanctions on Russia. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
NATO released new data showing all 32 members are projected to finally meet a long-withstanding military spending goal this year. The alliance says all members are on track to spend 2% of GDP on defense. There's been a push for higher defense spending since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. U.S. President Donald Trump has also accused members of failing to invest enough in their own security. NATO members agreed back in June to further hike defense spending to 3.5% of GDP. So far, that level is only met by Poland, Lithuania, and Latvia. Coming up, a look behind a new documentary of the Degrassi Canadian TV shows.
The Lumsden Duck Derby is back this weekend, and our Janelle Pai will be on location tomorrow to teach us some of the history and maybe some tips to picking the lucky duck.
News, weather, and traffic. It's everything you need. CTV Morning Live, weekdays 6 to 9.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at what you can expect for your forecast heading into the end of this week and into the weekend, the long weekend for many. Another sunny above seasonal day in Regina. Really in much of Saskatchewan. Now there is some rain on the way, but it's in for the southwest, and I'll show you that in just a second. Today we did warm up to about 30 degrees late this afternoon. Felt like 31. Currently sitting at 28 degrees, feeling like 29, and the winds just under 10 kilometers an hour. So we are seeing more of those the excessive heat warnings. It was covering more of the northeast. Now it looks like it's starting to lift, but it has spread further into the northeastern parts of the province there. And central southern Saskatchewan still seeing clear when it comes to watches or warnings, but we are starting to see a little bit more of that cloud cover roll in. And just into the southwest, we're starting to see a little bit of rain. And I'll show you that a little bit better here on our tracker as we head into this evening. You can see that system coming in from the south. And as we head into the overnight into tomorrow morning, we'll start to see rain arrive in areas like Maple Creek, Swift Current, and even into Assiniboia as we get more into Friday. Late afternoon is when we can see some of that rain arrive there. For the rest of us, we'll probably see a little bit more of that cloud cover rolling in with this system, but primarily that rain is staying in the southwest. When all is said and done, by the time late Saturday morning arrives, we'll see a lot of that rain clear out. The southwest could see anywhere between 3 to 5 millimeters of rain. And then for the rest of your Saturday into the rest of the weekend, we'll see mostly clear conditions with a little bit of that cloud cover sticking around. But temperatures remaining above seasonal into about Monday. And I'll show you that in your 7-day forecast. But you can see even our overnight lows still much warmer than what our average is. 16 degrees for La Ronge tonight, warming up to 31 and sunny for La Ronge and for La Loche tomorrow. 32 and mainly sunny for Lloydminster and Prince Albert. Saskatoon and North Battleford also expecting to see 32 as your daytime high, mainly sunny there. 31 and a mix of sun and cloud for Yorkton, and a little rain as we saw on the tracker there for the Maple Creek area tomorrow. 22 degrees, 24 and cloudy for Swift Current, 30 and cloudy for Moose Jaw. So of course with that system coming in, particularly staying in that Maple Creek Swift Current area with that cold front, seeing a little bit colder air, we'll see those temperatures a little cooler, but the southeast still above seasonal. 30 degrees for Estevan and Weyburn, 27 and mostly cloudy for Assiniboia, but not seeing that rain until later in the day in the Assiniboia area tomorrow. For our temperatures tonight, 14 degrees. We'll see a little bit of that cloud cover rolling in. Wind still quite calm today. We got up to about 25 kilometers an hour with the winds. Tonight up to about 10, and then tomorrow back up to about 20 kilometers an hour. 31 is the expected daytime high with the mix of sun and cloud. Slight chance we could see that 31 get a little warmer than just 31 degrees. But then as we head into Saturday, 32 and sunshine by Sunday. Labor Day Classic, sold out game at Mosaic Stadium. Kickoff is at 5 p.m. Now the daytime high on Sunday is expected to be 31 degrees. You're not going to see much relief at 5 p.m. folks. It's going to be 29 degrees, feeling more like 30, 31 degrees. So still a very warm evening of football expected on Sunday. By Monday, 30 degrees and mainly sunny. And then we start to see a little bit of a cool down by Tuesday, and also the winds picking up, gusting up to about 50 kilometers an hour. 19 degrees is the expected daytime high, and also the lows back into those single digits. So 7 degrees is a low for Tuesday, 9 degrees is a low for Wednesday, warming up to 22, which is around the average for this time of year. Mainly sunny, and then by Thursday we'll see those temperatures bump back up to about 25 degrees and a lot of sunshine expected. So a couple of cool days expected after the long weekend, but from now into the long weekend, Lee, a whole lot of sunshine and some very warm temperatures expected.
So you're going to try to be on the shady side, right, on Sunday?
I mean, I don't really have much control of that, but I will make sure I have a lot of water.
Yes.
Stay hydrated. Yeah.
Yeah, got to stay hydrated when the temperatures are that hot, especially down there with the pellets, the rubber.
Oh my gosh, it gets
hot.
really warm down there. Yeah.
In the turf, yeah. All right, thanks, Sabine.
You bet.
Well, if you've watched Canadian television at some point over the past 40 years, you've probably came across the TV show Degrassi. As CTV's Andrea Case reports, the inspiration for a new documentary about the show came from an unexpected source.
There was a notice about auditions for this new kids show.
And then one day, my mom called me and told me, you got the role. And I just grabbed my bag and left. And man, what a wild journey that started.
The new documentary, Degrassi, Whatever It Takes, would never have happened without Ivy Mudd.
Well, I started Degrassi, and I'm like, why is there no documentary about this?
Do you always take your daughter's advice?
From now on, I will, clearly.
It is the longest-running and most successful franchise in TV history.
2 years ago, the then 13-year-old Ivy began watching Degrassi from the very beginning of its 385 episodes. She asked her TV and film producer mother that fateful question.
It was pretty clear that, you know, it sort of stands the test of time. So the question was, you know, what's the future of it? And why not celebrate something that's 4 decades old?
Ivy was captivated by the TV show about a group of kids in a Toronto school and their lives inside and outside the classroom.
I think everything still holds up. It talks about things like eating disorders, and I feel like people can relate all over the world.
Cast members were game to take part in the documentary, including perhaps its now most famous former student, Jimmy, a.k.a. Aubrey Graham, a.k.a. Drake. Mudd had to get the blessing of show creator Linda Schuyler, which was easier than she thought.
We had lunch we sort of poured our hearts out, and I don't think that she had any expectations. Like, she was very hands-off.
As for getting accepted into the Toronto International Film Festival,
I've been around a while. This is my first TEF, and it is, I mean, it's incredible. And in our own town, in Toronto, with a franchise that is homegrown. It's a Toronto story, right? But arguably one of our biggest cultural exports. So it's amazing to be here.
Degrassi, Whatever It Takes, will have its world premiere on September 13th at 6:15 at Scotiabank Theatre.
Do you have your outfit picked out for the red carpet?
Not yet, but it has to be amazing.
Andrea Case, CTV News.
Still ahead, Rider players from Saskatchewan discuss how much the Labor Day Classic means to them.
Wardrobe consideration in part by Colin O'Brien Men's Shop.
Defensive backs Nelson Lacombo and Marcus Sales missed Riders practice for a second straight day, and it's going to be expected they're going to be unavailable for Sunday. But the good news, returner Mario Alford is expected to be back in the lineup after missing the last 5 games. Now, this is the game a lot of players look forward to, especially those from Saskatchewan. Donovan May says more.
Indeed. Yeah. The annual Labor Day Classic is more than a game for former University of Regina Ram Jackson Ford.
It's hard to describe. It's too hard to put into words, but it's a real meaningful game. It's against the rivals. I mean, we're going to see them again back-to-back weeks, so this is a huge one.
Growing up in Regina, Ford would often be in the stands.
How many of your Labor Day Classics were spent selling 50-50 tickets?
A couple. Definitely a couple. But I wasn't selling too many 50-50s that time.
Ford has played in just one previous Labor Day game in 2023 and made quite the impact. Looks to his left, throws to his right, deflected, and it's over! Tipping a pass from Bombers QB Zach Colaros on a 2-point convert attempt to seal a Rider win in overtime.
Probably my favorite play so far in my career, but there'll be more plays to make. But blitzed off the edge, managed to just get a little tip on the ball, and that's all I needed.
The province just gets really behind us on this one.
Melfort's Logan Ferlin says Labor Day has a different feeling across the province.
Growing up watching it was always one of the most favorite games to watch of the year, aside from Grey Cup when we were in it, but always very exciting, and like I said, feeding off the province's energy.
And both local products can't wait to get back in front of a sold-out Mosaic.
We know they're going to come out and be a heavy presence at home here, and we're just excited for it.
Huge for the fans, too. I mean, it's going to be the most packed it's ever been here, so we're real excited for this one.
The Riders expect the largest crowd ever for a Rider game at New Mosaic Stadium on Sunday. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
For the options to his right, that's where he's going to throw. He's looking to the end zone. Goes up and he's got it. Unreal stuff from Joe.
Receiver Ajojo is back in Riderville, signed by the team today. The Canadian pass catcher was waived by the Indianapolis Colts after signing with them in the offseason. In his rookie season in the CFL last year, Ajojo had 20 catches for 307 yards and 2 touchdowns in 12 games. Now, the Riders do have depth at Canadian receiver, but they do have Samuel Emelis and Kean Schaefer-Baker on the 6-game injured list right now, so it might be a good time for him to come back. Well, with these temperatures, hockey might be far from people's minds, but not the Regina Pats. This morning, their rookies hit the ice. That includes the team's top draft pick, local star Maddox Schultz, and 3rd overall pick forward Liam Pugh. Jacob Carr was there and has the details.
All of the rookies were showing their stuff on Thursday as they took part in a set of scrimmages. But if you ask 1st overall pick Maddox Schultz, the Pats are champing at the bit to get to their first action against an unfriendly opponent.
Yeah, I think that'll be super fun. Obviously, we play Swift first preseason game, so that'll be really fun. And obviously, a lot of these guys are really excited to get back on the ice and be prepared for a good year.
It may have only been controlled scrimmages at rookie camp on day 1. The 3rd overall pick Liam Pugh got his year off to a good start.
Yeah, that one was, it was good. I had to play with my buddy Colin. We just moved around. I got in the slot and then ripped a low glove.
Both Schultz and Pugh are allowed to play 34 games with the Pats this season, and they will do so while splitting time with the under-18 AAA Pat Canadians. The Pats have devised a plan for the duo that involves games with the WHL club from September through February.
They're going to go on the trip down to the U.S. It's a 2-week trip where we play 6 games, and they're on the road for 2 weeks. So, yeah, it's all about getting them prepared, and there's 2 trips into Alberta that they're going to be on those trips as well.
Getting the 2 15-year-olds prepared for next season means Schultz and Pugh learning how to train their bodies for the WHL season and balancing school while traveling and playing games. Pugh, for one, is excited to take on the challenge.
Yeah, 100%. It's a lot of hockey in the WHL, and I love hockey, so I'm just excited to be able to be on the ice every day and live the WHL lifestyle.
Regina's preseason schedule gets underway in Swift Current on September 3rd. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Coming up, an Indigenous-owned airline strikes a deal with 2 Saskatchewan companies.
At your rural forecast for tomorrow. Another beautiful day, lots of sunshine. Could see a little bit of clouds and cooler temperatures in the southwest there, but for much of the province, still seeing those temperatures staying in the 30s and a lot of sunshine. 32 for Hudson Bay and Melfort, mainly sunny. Also for Watrous, Spiritwood, and Lloydminster. And also Meadow Lake, 32 in sunshine there. 30 degrees for Wynyard and Outlook with a mix of sun and cloud, and 29 for Kindersley. Now, this is where we'll see those temperatures a little cooler over there in the southwest. Rain for East End Cypress, 18 degrees tomorrow, 22 and rain for Maple Creek. Rockglen, mostly cloudy, 26 degrees, 27 and mostly cloudy for Assiniboine. And then over in areas like Kenora, Pilot Butte, Lumsden, Broadview, we will see those temperatures get into the 30s with a little bit more sunshine. But again, that southwest corner expecting to see some rain on and off throughout the day tomorrow into Saturday morning before that clears out. And we'll see warmer temperatures for the rest of the weekend. For a closer look at Kenosee Lake, where internet speeds up to 1 gig are available through SaskTel tomorrow, 28 degrees, mainly sunny, winds anywhere between 10 to 20 kilometers an hour. That's all I got.
Go back to her, see if she has more. Uranium companies Cameco and Orano have finalized an agreement with Rise Air for transportation services for their workforces. The 15-year agreement is worth about $500 million and will see Rise Air, which is an Indigenous-owned airline, provide transportation for workers to operations in northern Saskatchewan. The CEO of Rise Air calls the agreement transformative and says it will allow the airline to upgrade facilities, invest in modern equipment, and expand hiring and training. Rise Air is owned by Athabasca Basin Development and Prince Albert Development Corporation, making it one of the country's largest Indigenous-owned airlines. Well, tent encampments were not the only things addressed at City Council last night. As Sierra D'Souza Butts tells us, Council also moved forward with protecting part of its grasslands.
Nature Regina says the city's grasslands hold personal roots for many people of Regina.
We live on the prairie. The grassland is a prairie that, my grandfather came to when he came here.
To protect green spaces from development, Regina City Council has passed a motion to preserve about 50 acres of its grasslands at the former Craig Golf Course. Through the city's biodiversity reserve, the natural habitat will be developed and maintained as a gathering place for the community.
The concept mentioned is, a few walking trails through it, some information, and further work on rehabilitation of some of the disturbed areas over the long term. So it's, I'm very happy.
At Wednesday's meeting, Council also debated a motion on designating one of the city's 14 indoor arenas for solely adult recreational hockey.
The immediate need is to fix the existential problem right now.
There's been complaints of inequity and unavailability for other groups, and this is the first step towards solving a bunch of these arena problems here.
However, with the proposal going into effect for the upcoming 2025-26 season, Council voted against the motion 8-3 with concerns it would impact pre-existing bookings.
It would absolutely be stressful, and then I think we just have to consider other stakeholders. So where we operate our own leagues, Hockey Regina leagues, but we also have many teams that play in provincial-based leagues. So then if we are changing those, we need to connect with those leagues of that impact as well.
Frankly, just ice time in general, is that the time allocation is done for this year. We would end up creating a cascading effect of challenges and scheduling challenges if we were to make changes today. So ultimately, Council decided that we would maintain status quo.
City administration has been actively looking into the city's policy on how booking requests for ice time is prioritized to reflect other municipalities' regulations. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
Markets both on the way up today, slightly. The TSX went up by basically a point. The Dow Jones up by 71 points. Canadian dollar, it went up almost 0.2 cents to 72.71 cents U.S. Commodity front, gold up $19.72. West Texas Intermediate crude up 45 cents, while Western Canadian Select crude was up 95 cents. And gas in Regina, we haven't seen any movement on that front yet. It's still sitting at $1.46.9 per liter.
Both TD and CIBC have beat profit expectations in their latest quarters. Earlier this year, higher interest rates and the threat of a trade war with the U.S. caused most banks to increase their loss provisions. But it turns out, so far at least, tariffs have had less of an impact on the economy than expected. Analysts say CIBC in particular outperformed its peers with a strong net interest margin and cost control. NVIDIA shares dipped slightly today despite the company reporting better than expected earnings. The microchip giant says sales growth this quarter will remain above 50%. NVIDIA's CEO has said the company is getting ready to sell chips into China's AI market, although there is some uncertainty about that opportunity due to tensions between the U.S. and China. Desjardins is buying global investment management company Guardian Capital for around $1.6 billion. The publicly traded company will now be taken private. That deal is expected to close in the first quarter of 2026. And those are your business headlines. I'm Lindsay Biscaya.
Coming up tonight after the newscast, we've got the Big Bang Theory rookie sandwich.
Ah, yes.
Yes, double-decker.
We know it well.
Yes. That's all I really need to say about that. An unusual sight near Toronto where one driver appeared to take the stairs.
How can you drive like this? How?
They're asking the question we asked. This car was driving with a staircase on top of it. Police say the vehicle reversed into a building, striking the stairs, which then stayed attached to the vehicle. A 22-year-old woman has been charged with careless driving. How do you not realize
that you've got stairs?
You're dragging a set of stairs on top of your vehicle.
Not using your rearview mirror, clearly.
CHR.
That's concerning. All right, well, a Vancouver man went to great lengths to pop the question to his future bride-to-be.
¿Te quieres casar conmigo?
This man rolled out the red carpet lined with roses for his lady. The girlfriend was led to the proposal blindfolded before she eventually arrives at a heart-shaped arch, also adorned with roses and a spread of treats and champagne. The man says it took him 1 month to plan the engagement. The couple, originally from Mexico, says they've been together for 7 years. Wonder how they got this. This almost looks like they were someone from Vancouver CTV.
Knew them?
Taped the whole thing, yeah.
It's like a professional.
Yeah, it looks pretty professional, so he's got a lot to live up to. That wedding better be fantastic if that's what you're going to do for the proposal. You know what today is, by the way?
What?
It's our graphic expert's Kayla's birthday.
Happy birthday, Kayla! Can you put up a graphic wishing yourself happy birthday?